Week 8 of the NFL season is officially over, and that means that the NFL regular season is halfway done. Crazy to think that we're already at this point. But Week 8 was a doozy, so let's recap that. So when you're looking at our picks for the Week 8 games, we went 9 for 7, which is not great, right? Last week we did much better, and this week we kind of fell off. But I will add a but here. Bears lost on a Hail Mary, which there was a missed holding call, but I'm not going to make that argument because I'm a Seahawks fan, so I don't really care. But the Bears game was very close, and that one was kind of a toss-up. Jets, last-minute touchdown. Who knows why the Jets are so bad? But they lost, again, late fourth quarter. Dolphins, game-winning field goal. Ravens, Jameis Winston had unwavering faith. So, he got it done. Right, so that's four of the seven, my bad, that we had wrong that were very close. Seahawks, as a Seahawks fan, I hated to see that. Bengals, they also got whooped by the Eagles. And then the Vikings, we picked the Vikings winning this week. We honestly had thought the Ravens, and I personally switched, I have a pick'em thing I'm doing, I switched it to the Rams. So that one was a toss, but I think I said that in our recap or in our preview, but I'm not for sure. But either way, we picked the Vikings and they lost. So 9 for 7, could have been better. Best performances of the week, gave it to the Cardinals. Nice little come from behind win. That's always a good performance. Made field goal. I think it was like a 56 maybe game winner, or that might have been like earlier in the game. Either way, the Cardinals did good against the Vikings, the Dolphins, who have Tua back, who finally slid on a run. But then that being said, the Dolphins look much better with Tua back. I didn't put them on here. I probably should have. But with Tua back, the Dolphins are definitely much more of a contender. Bills absolutely whooped the Seahawks, who have a good defense. Yeah. I hated that. Lions, the first quarter or two, me and Mason, who unfortunately is not here because he has to work, we were talking back and forth, and I was talking about how the Titans quarterback play is comical because they were throwing interceptions, and then it was going back and forth because they were getting touchdowns, and then that was at the end of the first it was like 14-14. I was like, oh, they're having a game, and by the end of the half it was like 50-14, and yeah. So Lions are going to be on here probably every week. They look great. I mean, they're the best team in the league, and I think that shouldn't be a question. Browns obviously made it on here because they beat the Ravens, and that shouldn't be an argument at all for anything else but this. And then Eagles too, they whooped the Bengals. Poor Joe Burrow. Worst performances, overly bad is what I call it, but I think these are worst. Jets, horrible performance. They lost to the Patriots with Jacoby Brissett. They weren't even playing their starting quarterback. They were playing their backup, who was horrible when he was their starter for a bit, and they lost. And this is a Jets team that's on paper one of the best in the league, but who knows? I don't know what they should do because it's just a mess. Titans looked horrible after that first quarter. Panthers are a joke. They got that one win, and everyone's like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe they're there. Maybe it was just Bryce Young." No, it wasn't. They're just a horrible team. Their point deficit's nearing -200, which is insane. It's like 140 right now, which is absurd. Colts, Anthony Richardson, actually, as of this video, got benched. Thank God. He was playing horribly. 44% completion on 133 attempts, I believe. 9 interceptions to 4 touchdowns. He's horrible, and they're finally benching him. So they deserve to be on this though. Saints, I'm not gonna watch much of that game, but they got kind of cooked by the Chargers. I know that. Then you go to our current contenders. I know that the Buccaneers just lost their game. I know the Vikings just lost. I know the Ravens just lost. I think they all deserve to be on here, right? Seahawks were on here. I took them off. They're too inconsistent, in my opinion, to be contenders. But the Buccaneers, they lost again. But even without their top 2 receivers, they still looked good. Baker Mayfield he had 2 interceptions, but he still had 3 touchdowns. And I will say those interceptions weren't they were Actually, I guess they were thrown to the other team, so you can't really argue much. But still, I think Baker Mayfield's good enough to where he can lead this team pretty far. The Packers barely beat the Jags, but I still think they look good. If Jordan Love's out, that could present an issue, but who knows. 49ers, they whooped the Cowboys. That was awesome. They'll probably move in next week if they play good this week, is my guess, because we're still iffy on them because they look okay. Falcons are obviously still on here. They still look really good. I mean, I don't think any of the teams in the middle need an argument. I will say Stephon Diggs is out for the season now on the Texans, so they're down to, right now, Tank Dell until Nico's back. So that could present an issue, but at the same time, last season, they really only had Nico because Tank Dell was out for the season with an injury. So I think they'll still be okay. I don't know for sure. They're going to be a week-to-week thing with this for sure. Lions are going to stay in there. Lions are, you can't question them being the best in the league. Ravens are still amazing. Yes, they lost to the Browns, but it's a division game, and Jameis Winston was playing, not Deshaun Watson, so that's a big factor. Chiefs, I don't like the Chiefs in there. I don't think the Chiefs are good, right? They're 7-0. That doesn't speak anything. Anyways, we'll move on to our power rankings. Chiefs are at number 8, even though they won. They didn't play good against the Raiders, who've been horrible. So I moved them down a little bit. I moved the Texans up. Bills had a huge jump up to number 2. I don't know why they're not on the contender list. I forgot to put them there, but I think the Bills are amazing, honestly. Josh Allen's finally getting his good season. Bears moved down a bit. Seahawks moved down a bit. Big jumps. Browns and Dolphins both shot up because it's quarterbacks. That's it. They both had pretty decent defenses and solid offense. They just didn't have quarterbacks, and now they both got those again. Rams moved up a lot. Not a lot, but 3 spaces, which is pretty good. Because, they have wide receivers again, and their line's starting to come back. Jets tanked. They went -6 this week because they looked horrible. They lost to the Patriots, who I moved up 1 because they won. And I moved the Titans down to 31. Panthers are still the last team in the league, and that shouldn't be a question. Yep, so that's our power rankings. This is the current playoff picture. Bears actually got knocked out. The Eagles make the playoffs now over them. Commanders are winning their division. Falcons are over the Bucks, and then the Cardinals are winning the NFC West because they're all 4-4. And then Chiefs are at the number 1 seed with Steelers actually winning their division right now, and I'll get into that quick after this slide. I do little fantasy predictions every week. I did not do good this week. I didn't even, usually I'll total up on the bottom there. I had one person who scored over 10 points this week that I picked. It was horrible. In my personal fantasy league, my bench, every single player on my bench outscored my starters. I had, I think, 100 points on my bench, and I scored about 40 or 80 or something. I don't know. It was a bad week. Injuries, Jordan Love with a groin injury. Who knows what's going to happen with that, because I don't know if they said he's going to be out for a specific amount of time or what, but he'll be there. Yeah. Stephon Diggs is out for the season. That just happened a few minutes ago as of recording this, so I didn't put it on here, but he's out for the season. Richardson's benched. That's not an injury, but that's a change if you're going to play him in fantasy, which I don't know why you would. But yeah, you look at the division standings. Right now in the NFC North, I still have them all on there because the Bears have as many wins as a current division leader. So I think I'll keep it like that as long as I have it. I mean, that's being said with the Eagles, I have 5, but the NFC North is a big one. Lions are leading right now because they're 6-1, and I will say this video is going to be titled with the little title Sonic and Knuckles Get It Done. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they're, call me crazy, but they're both top 5 running backs in the league, if not top 10. And running back duos, they're the number 2, I guess, if you count Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. But then Commanders, winning their division, actually, surprisingly. No one really thought that I didn't think that coming into the season, at least. Steelers are winning theirs. I believe they're 6-2 now. I didn't change that. Bills are killing their division. They're up 4 wins because they have 3 absolute, pieces of crap as their teams in there. Texans are 6-2. Chiefs are 7-0, sadly. Right now, the NFC West is all 4-4, with the Rams being 3-4, which is really interesting to see how that's gonna go. Because if that stays pretty consistent, that means it's gonna be like a toss-up at the end of the year. Then obviously the Falcons are leading their division. And then yeah, who will we be making a video on this Saturday? Let's go spin for that. So yeah, if you don't know how this goes, we spin to get a team to pick a player from. And this week we'll be making a video on a New Orleans Saints player. Alright, and I've set up a little wheel of some Saints players, former and current. And yeah, let's see who will be making a video on this upcoming Saturday. And you could be looking out for a Taysom Hill dedicated video. One of, honestly, the most athletic players in the league. Because he's not like the fastest, not the strongest, but he plays every position. So yeah, look out for a little Taysom Hill video on Saturday. And yeah, as you just saw, we'll be making a video on Taysom Hill, which should be interesting actually, because I don't know too much about his career. So yeah, look out for that. And then finally, our awards of the week. Best team of the week obviously goes to the Lions. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. Worst team is the Jets. I've already talked enough about them. Player of the week, it's got to go to Jameis Winston. I mean, dude came out, first start in like 2 years, balled out against one of the best teams in the league. He deserves player of the week. And then fantasy player of the week, it's not really a question on that one. It's more just who scored the most points. And obviously CeeDee Lamb did. So yeah, CeeDee Lamb gets that despite them losing, because the Cowboys suck this year, kind of. But yeah, so that's our recap for week 8. So thank you so much for watching. And if you liked what you watched, like, comment, subscribe. We'll love you till the day you die if you do. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Later.